All right, welcome everybody to my channel. Mega Mike the Movie Man here. Today we got an awesome pregame show for you all. We are talking some Shazam, Fury of the Gods. We are getting hyped for this movie, so make sure you have your drinks ready, some snacks. We're gonna have a fun night, but I'm not joined here alone. Let me bring out my amazing panel of movie lovers out there and comic book enthusiasts. Let's go ahead and bring out Ben Buster in the house, the real Captain Marvel.
That's right. If you know, you know. So
Yes, absolutely. I love that call back there.
yes. For
He'll
those of you
always
that
be. Yes. Yeah, you give them the knowledge. Run it down for
for,
them, Ben
for
Buster.
those that don't know, Shazam was originally called Captain Marvel back in the Fawcett era of comic books. But when DC bought them out, there was rights issues with the name. And because Marvel's Captain Marvel came out, so they're like, you know what? He says Shazam. He is given his powers by the wizard Shazam. Let's just change the name.
Oh yeah, that so threw me off when they made that name change.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because my mom was actually going to the theaters and she wanted to see Captain Marvel. But my brother thought she was thinking of, oh, Shazam. That Shazam was Captain Marvel. You know, they came out at the same time. So my brother took her to see Shazam instead. And she's like, wait, this isn't Captain Marvel I was expecting. It was so weird that those two movies came out very similar time. Like that was so odd.
Yeah.
What a funny little twist there. But let's go ahead and bring out, of course, Jesse in the house, who just recently had a birthday. So happy belated birthday again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know if I knew Jesse, we would have had the birthday cake going today, but
No worries, it's all good. I'm excited.
I can go run and get it. I'm the Flash.
Well, that's actually super speed. That's one of his special powers.
Yes. Oh, totally. You reminded me of my question here for everybody. So, what's your favorite of Shazam's powers? Jesse, you already called mine out. That's why I'm wearing the Flash gear. I totally was going to say, the speed of Mercury here. So, that's definitely my number one favorite. But, Ben Buster, I forgot to ask you, what's your favorite Shazam power?
I actually like the my favorite one is the Hercules, strength of Hercules.
There we go. Strength of Ben Buster right there. You got it.
Because who else could go toe to toe with the great Kryptonian that is Superman?
So, yes. All right. And Jesse, do you have a favorite Shazam power?
It's actually super speed as well. You can
there
just
you go.
Run where you got to get to super fast. I'm scared of heights, so flying won't do for me.
You know what? I was a little disappointed in the first Shazam movie. We didn't see too much of the super speed. I only think it was like one time when he goes super fast with Freddy over to the carnival in the alleyway, and it was like only a couple seconds. I think that was the only time we saw the super speed in action, if I'm remembering correctly.
We also saw he saved, I don't remember her name, but the other girl who's a part of his family, the older one who's trying to get into college.
Oh, Mary.
She was busy. Yeah, she was busy looking at her papers. Truck coming by, and he got her right out of the way. Yeah.
There you go. You got it. Okay, so a couple times we got the super speed. But let's go ahead and bring in this person super fast here. We got Last American Girl. Also had a recent birthday as well. Didn't let me know, so we should have had 2 birthday cakes, but it's okay. How we doing out there, Last American Girl?
We're doing great out here. Good to be back as usual.
All right, you ready to talk some Shazam here?
I am. I'm actually really excited about this one. And let's think. My favorite power is probably going to be just his age shape shifty thing that he does. I don't know
Becoming an adult.
Yes.
But it'd be so cool. Oh, the things I would get away with if I had those powers.
I'm like, right now, you're already an adult. What are you talking about?
Power of puberty.
Back then, how much I would have gotten.
It would be useful. Be like, oh yes, I can go see a rated R movie now. Let's go. That's what I'm thinking about. Everybody else is probably thinking something different. I'm just like, oh, let me go see a movie. All right. Well, we do have another guest that will be joining in here in a little bit, but we'll save that mystery guest for just a little bit. Oh, unless I think we're ready. We got Super Huck in here.
Shazam! was trying to do a bit.
Woo! Oh, there you
Trying to do
go.
a
I'm
bit.
like, are you saying like hello? Are you going to be back in a
No, I
little
was trying to have my
bit?
seat empty and Shazam into the chair. Forget it. It was going to
I
be
got
great.
you. I got you.
Shazam. No. Yeah, man. Let's get our Shazam on. See, my favorite Shazam power. I do like the speed. I'm always, in fact, nice call on the homework. I just watched it today as well, so I knew I was going to say, wait, when she was almost hit by the plow, he's super sped over.
Mhm.
So yeah, I loved his super speed in this. And you know what? It was so beautiful how they used his powers. Just the sort of the way they shot it and used them in this film. It was just it's kind of like different angles and different ways than you used to, just like brutally. They're kind of usually like brutally used in superheroes, and this was sort of like charming. But I'll go ahead and go with Zeus's power.
Oh, the lightning bolts right there. Well,
Your cell
speaking-
phone's charged. Your cell phone's charged.
Oh, such a funny moment. Well, speaking of lightning bolts, make sure you lightning bolt that like and subscribe. Shazam the panel with those super chats tonight. And definitely check out some memberships for exclusive video content. They will be getting the Shazam Fury of the Gods review this weekend. So definitely look into those if you're interested in that. But let's check in to the comments tonight. Let's see who is out here. We got Adrian James in the house.
Hey.
Hello there, Mike. You
What's up,
smart
Adrian?
young man. How are you doing? I'm doing excellent, Adrian. How are you doing? All right, we got Bob's Blu-rays in the house. Hey, y'all. Have a great stream, Z. What's the Z mean? All right, Dimension Scott. Hello, everybody. How excited are you about this movie? You know, in my opinion, the first one was my favorite film of that year, no matter what's going on. Oh, there we go. That's a great glass right there, huh? Oh, so good.
Even got the Shazam on the backside.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's great. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that dimension in a question, but yeah, I love the first one. Absolutely. We'll get to that though. Craig saying hi, Mike and Gus. We got heroic waffles in there. Yes, the waffles that save everybody out there.
Waffles?
Yes.
Have a good see, buddy.
Yeah, Beijing saying hello to everybody. Amazing as says, finally I can chat. Yay.
Yay!
He's no
Welcome,
longer
Amazing
banned
Anna.
from the channel. So, yep, welcome, Amazing Anna.
It's not banned from the channel. Yeah, that's not going to go over well.
Wow. Wow. Mike,
no.
Mike, you're going to
How
need that
comfortable
super,
is your couch? Hope your couch
Mike,
is
you're going to
comfortable.
need that super
Really
speed tonight.
comfortable. It's a nice leather couch, recliners.
Yeah.
It can even massage you and heaters. So
Oh, nice.
it's a nice couch. Oh yeah, everybody's saying hello to Anna. Adrian saying, "Hey there, Super Huck."
What's up?
We got my mom in the chat saying hello to everybody. Adrian saying, "I haven't seen the first Shazam movie yet, but I have the Blu-ray." Adrian, you got some homework tonight. You got to see the Shazam movie. That is #1 priority. After the stream, put on Shazam. Or put it on while you are listening to the stream in the background. There you go. Let's see. Amazing Anna said, did he say he's trying to ban me from the channel? All right. No, Amazing Anna.
Doing that.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into our first question here. What do you enjoy most about the Shazam character? And let's go ahead, because Huck, I know you're ready to talk some Shazam. What do you most enjoy about this character?
All right, look, I've loved Shazam for a long time. Look, I'll even show you. Look, when I was a wee lad, y'all, we had this on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Shazam,
Oh, nice.
Yep.
right? And this was like, well, a kid woke up on Saturday morning and you had like a full powered live action superhero. Hell to the yeah. And what I love certainly, and it wasn't as true in this, like when he became Shazam, you didn't feel like he was a kid. But what I love about Shazam in this is that he's like a young kid who's instantly in like you were saying, you know, that power of being an adult. And doesn't quite know what to do with the power. And I won't get too much into it because we're going to be talking about the movie, so I don't want to jump ahead. But I love that sort of aspect that he's this playful sort of youngster, especially when he's part of the Justice League and stuff. And he is talking to these legends, and he's just like, "Hey, what's up, y'all?" Like he's just a kid, literally in the room with these legends. And there's something sort of he then becomes us as the hero in the room. No matter who you like in there, his persona becomes what you would be like in that room. So my favorite thing about him is that sort of youthful innocence and charm that comes with suddenly having superpowers. That's what I love most.
Awesome.
And Zachary Levi does the perfect job of that.
So good. Perfect casting. Absolutely perfect.
It was.
Last American Girl, what do you most enjoy about Shazam?
It's the perfect segue onto what Huck is saying, that Zachary Levi is my favorite part because it just his personality as a person. I had the opportunity to see a preview of the first Shazam at WonderCon when it was first coming out. So he was there, and like the things that he was saying. I'm a big fan of the video game series Kingdom Hearts, and he said that he had agreed to be on Tangled, voicing Eugene Flynn Rider solely for the purpose of being in Kingdom Hearts. So just his personality is Shazam, and well, as a kid, and it just I don't know, it's just great, and it's fun to watch. It's so enjoyable to watch because it has that kind of side comedy that I like that DC does. Like I've mentioned before, my other favorite DC movie is Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and I get that kind of comedic vibe off of it, and that's what I like so much.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Such a great movie right there. Great name drop with that one. And you mentioned WonderCon as well. Are you going to WonderCon this year by chance?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think it lands on something else.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Of course. Of course, it will be at WonderCon. Absolutely. But I don't know if we're going to get any cool movie premieres.
If I'm there, we got to hook up then.
Yeah, we need to
go to WonderCon.
Well, let's put it this way: I have an industry pass that I always get. So if I don't go, I'm not out any money, right? Because I work in the biz. So I always apply for it, and then so yeah, I'm planning on going. But if life gets in the way,
also,
you're definitely gonna meet up. We're gonna go see a movie or something. We are making it happen. Absolutely.
Mike, you're in education as well. I was a teacher for a couple years, and they have an educator pass as well. I think we've all got an
I already bought the passes. I should have looked into
it's all about the free passes.
I know. First I'm hearing free passes and educator passes. I'm like,
pay for your passes?
Pass. Yeah. I didn't know. Okay.
And not to discourage anyone, WonderCon is only what, like $35 a day or something like that. It's relatively
it's not
affordable. It's affordable.
I wish that was the C2E2 price. I wish.
All right, Ben Buster, what do you most enjoy about the Shazam character?
I love, not only in the comic books, but also in this movie, how he was written with youthful innocence as the superhero. Like Huck and everyone else was saying, like when he's that hero, he is us in that. Like if we had superpowers.
Yep.
And yet he's there. He has that childlike state, and especially in the comic books, you see it a lot when he's there staying with the Justice League. They're like, "We can't do this," and he thinks back as being a child, using his wisdom and be like, "Hey, wait! If we do it this way, we could beat him. That will never work. Trust me." And lo and behold, they trusted Shazam and they trusted Billy, and they won their battle because he did something off the wall. He goes, "You know what? Batman, you just stand right here. Everyone else, Superman, you don't do anything. We'll all take him." And the villains the Legion of Doom was not expecting it one bit. And so he just goes in there and goes, "Hey, we take out the two big guys. We win."
All right. And Jesse, what do you most enjoy about Shazam?
Yeah, I'm along with everyone else with his youthfulness. I love the way that he played the role with the combination of the writing. There was one, I'll just briefly describe a very small scene where you see him outside and he's like demonstrating his powers to make money. And it kind of made me think of
Lightning
like,
with my hands.
yeah, like going
Lightning
to
with
like
my-
Vegas and you have the people dressed up doing different performances, trying to make some money or trying to get a photo for some money. It's like,
Yeah.
it's so innocent because you know that this character is actually a child who's just trying to make some money. So like I really appreciated the small detail like that. And it wasn't like a whole comedy skit. It was just something small like that.
I loved his suit because the suit in the first one shows that it's a child, how a child views a superhero. It's like, oh, these superheroes are huge and these muscular beings, and here it is, like you see Zachary Levi in his actual building. You're like, yeah, he's nothing like that. That I love that in this movie as well. Mm-hmm.
All right. And then for me, I mean, you guys are mentioning all the great stuff about Shazam. I also really just like the origin story of Shazam. And you correct me if I'm wrong here with because I'm not, totally up on my comic book knowledge here. But from what I remember, it was like the Shazam wizard gave the powers to Black Adam 1st. And we saw how that went in a totally different direction than what they were expecting, a very destructive past. So instead of giving powers to an adult, they decide let's give powers to a kid. They get a different result. Is that correct, Ben Buster? Or am I remembering it wrong?
Yeah. No, you're pretty much right.
All right. Yeah, I love that story. I love to see the contrast between a Black Adam and then Shazam. And they're such a great combination together. I wanted to see them fight on screen so bad. Probably not going to happen for a while.
I know.
But that would have been great. Oh, that would have been so awesome. Just to see
And
how they use their powers differently, too.
Yeah, and what I didn't realize until watching it literally again this morning, like I have to see it and get all fresh, is Dwayne Johnson was a producer on Shazam. I didn't think he came into the picture that early. So that surprised me. Like, oh, so that means, he must like Shazam. Maybe he intended to fight Shazam. I know he really preferred to fight Superman because his ego is this big. It's like cooler to fight Superman than Shazam. But
they announced Black Adam before Shazam, if I'm remembering correctly, because they announced Black Adam a long, long time ago. They just never got to making the movie until way later on. So that makes sense. But yeah, let's go into what did we think of Shazam 1 here? Ben Buster, go ahead, start this one off.
What did I think of it? It was a fun time. I enjoyed it. Well, like we could bash Marvel all we want now for all the comedy things that they throw in. This is how you do comedy right in a superhero movie. It's tasteful, it's subtle, and it's very youthful in that thing because it's a movie about a kid becoming a superhero. And I think I die every time I watch this. I'm just so enamored by Zachary Levi's personality as Billy, and and the kid too, the kid who plays Billy as well. I'm so enamored with him too, and his relationship with his family. You're like, oh yeah, seeing that your powers now are that of a superhero. Okay, your family now becomes your family again, which I thought was a little cool play on there because in the comic books, it's only like one member of his family is actually part of the Shazam family. They're just different kids. So I love that fact that they incorporated his entire foster family as one as well in here.
Oh yeah, and that part totally shocked me when they all became part of the Shazam family. It's like I should have expected it with knowing, what I knew from the comics, but I was not expecting them to pull that out in the first Shazam movie. So when it happened, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Oh yeah. And Jesse, I know you were mentioning a little bit of Shazam 1, some scenes in there, but overall, what did you think of Shazam?
I really enjoyed it. I think I probably think of more like Batman and Superman when I think of DC. So I think of like a lot more darker kind of toned movies. I liked Shazam a lot because I feel like it balanced it out pretty good. It did have those like darker moments that was like, oh, this is serious, or like, oh, those monsters are pretty scary. But it had a nice balance of comedy too. So I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, so good. And Last American Girl, what'd you think of Shazam 1?
Loved it. Everything that we're saying, that DC just has that knack for the perfect comedy. the subtle, well placed things that Marvel just, no matter how hard they try, can't achieve. I know there's always the memes of DC movies being literally dark, like the cinematography of it being dark that you can't see it. But on its complete other side, you have these movies that are so full of comedy and life and color, and they just make for such a balancing and interesting watch. And the cast was great, the story was great, it was something different, and that's always something that I enjoy in movies, watching something different than your basic superhero movie. I mean, it has its elements, but still good.
It was definitely way different than any DC movie we saw before then around that time. Really unique. Huck, did I go to you? I don't think I did yet. What did you think?
No, not yet. No. In fact, you said exactly what I was about to say, which is when I went into Shazam, the reason I was so waiting for this film is exactly what you guys are saying about Batman and Superman. Even the new Superman is also dark. Like that. What is wrong with that? Superman's always been the balance to Batman. I'm just like, oh man, we're never going to get something that feels a little bit lighter in tone. I mean, after all, these are comic book movies. Not everything has to feel so dark. And then when I saw the trailer for Shazam, I'm like, oh my God, if this lives up to the trailer I'm watching, this is the movie I've been waiting for. And when I went in and you all said it, the family stuff, and I don't know, as I get older too, maybe I'm just too in touch with my emotions now. I was crying this morning when he was with the family, and when he was kind of being an a-hole to his little brother, the younger kid with the crutch, I forgot, Freddie. To Freddie, and he was just like calling him out, like, you were cool and now you're an a-hole. And I was just like, I really felt for him because, he was liking him as a new member of the family. And Billy was just being, standoffish and flippish and not really caring about what was important. And that movie captured that so well, is that essence of family. And you said it, Mike, is like, in fact, I kind of forgot. I'm like, how did they all get their powers? It had been so long since I saw it. I forgot. And I'm like, oh, and then as soon as he was there, I'm like, oh yeah, he gets them all to grab the stick. And that moment I also didn't expect. I was like, because I was saying to myself, I wonder when we're going to get the family. And then boom, the family shows up at the end. I was like, oh, in the theater, I was like raising my hands with such joy that the family was instantly now part of this thing. I'm like, oh, so good. So yeah, I loved everything about that film.
So yeah, Shazam is amazing to me. Now that I think about it, I think it is my favorite DCEU movie of all time. Because when I look at my shelf and I'm thinking, okay, what movie do I want to play from DC right now? Often it's Shazam. It's just a fun, lighthearted movie, but it balances everything perfectly. You all were already mentioning the humor. It's so natural in this movie. Zachary Levi is casting perfection, but also all the kid actors are amazing too.
Yeah.
Like the one for Darla, absolutely amazing in the movie. Yep, she is great. Even her adult version is perfect too. Like you could see they really matched up the adults with the younger people in there. It was just perfection. And I love the direction of the movie, how the story was told. They were able to interconnect family themes and messages. And there were some heart-wrenching moments. Like when he finally sees his mom, it's like, oh my gosh, I feel for him. But then it comes around because he gets, he finds his family, his home, and all that great stuff. I love those moments. Great emotional moments. But then you also have
emotional
movie. Yeah. Great emotional moments, but then also the lighthearted comedy and then amazing action sequences. Like all the Deadly Sin villains, those were so cool. And like the boardroom scene, my goodness, they throw the person out the window.
Yeah, the dude out the window.
This is getting so horrific. Like you can tell that from the director too, who worked in horror before. Perfect balance, more so than any other DCEU movie, in my opinion. So I love Shazam. It was excellent, amazing. All right,
Do y'all
let's
remember the scene when
Mm.
Darla was hugging Billy in the school, and he goes, "You don't have to keep hugging me. It's not like I'm your real
Yes.
brother,"
Oh,
and that broke her heart.
Mhm.
yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's like that moment
Mhm.
really broke my heart. I'm like, God, you're such an a-hole, you know.
Mm.
But that's you got to be that so that
Yeah.
the arc, the character arc, really pays off because of
Mhm.
moments like that.
Oh yeah, and you can understand too, though, where everybody's coming from, all
Yep.
their background and past experience. Why are they the way they are? It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
We got Basement Blues in here. Good evening. I think
Hey,
Basement
Tony.
Blues is a Shazam fan too, right? If
Hey,
I'm
Tony.
remembering. Let's see. We got Crafty Grammy. Hi everyone, Crafty. I think it's my first time seeing you in here. Welcome to the
Crafty
chat.
Grammy.
Make sure you subscribe. Absolutely. Great having you here. We got a Darvin. Hello, everyone. Yay, Darvin's in
Darvin?
the house. All right, we got Movie Hunter 2020 evening, everyone.
What's up, Hunter?
Darvin saying, I love Scott Pilgrim. It's such a good movie, and it gets
Mhm.
better every time I watch
Yeah.
that one. Oh,
Yeah.
so good. Oh, we do have Benny here. Yay, Benny's here.
Hey,
in the
Benny.
chat.
Feel better.
Mhm. We got My Killer Podcast in the house. What's up, Mike?
What's up,
Hey,
man?
everyone. Yay. Yes, we got Darvin, this is a great question for the panel here. What's everyone's refreshments? So I got my Mountain Dew Zero Sugar Spark. Okay, whatever. Jesse got some water.
Yeah.
Good, good. Last American Girl with the water. What about
Me
else?
too.
Is that some tea right there? Some iced tea?
Yes,
Seasoned
yes.
Buster. Okay,
Mhm.
nice. Got a whole gallon. All right. Is that iced tea as well, Huck?
So I got the
That you
iced tea, and I just finished a chicken parm. Ooh, girl,
Oh,
that was so
nice.
good.
Nice. Did anybody else bring
Shazam!
snacks or dinner or anything like that?
No, that's for later.
So good.
Great
And
question.
it's the middle of the
Darvin,
week.
though. All right,
My wife
let's
makes a
see.
great chicken parm.
Dimension Scott said, I had such a blast with the first one.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, it was so unexpected and such a great movie. It's very underrated. You don't hear much people talking about it either
Yeah.
anymore. I don't know why. It was so good. Steve Marr saying, greetings, ladies, gentlemen, and flick fiends. Well, welcome, Steve. Dimension Scott saying, some people say they don't like the film because Billy is, as a kid, he's serious about finding his mother, but acts goofy when he's a hero adult.
I think he's just so like overwhelmed with
I
being a
know.
superhero that it kind of distracts him from that fact. And that's
Yeah.
kind of the plot of the movie, that he realizes as being Shazam who his real family is, because he's no longer just focused on that. He has other problems to deal with.
Mhm.
I also felt like maybe he felt a little more comfortable as Shazam
Mhm.
just because when you feel more comfortable, I feel like it's easier for you to let loose and be kind of goofy and have fun with it. So it's like it kind of shows how he was destined to be Shazam because he was a
It's-
little comfortable with it.
In the world of being a foster kid, I work with kids, have for the past couple of years. In the foster care system, they lose all sense of who they are at times because they are like Billy was, going from home to home, not actually having a stable environment. They lose all sense of who they are. They have one item or maybe two items that they cling on to dearly, and I could see that in him becoming Shazam. That was his one item that he was going to hold on dearly. And yes, he's letting his inner child finally come that way because those kids are tough. Well, when they go through stuff like he was, they're tough kids. So they are not necessarily being a child. They're more of an adult at that standpoint. So when he becomes Shazam, it's kind of the opposite. He's now the child he wants to be. So
Yeah, great
Yeah, I've heard a
perspective
lot of
there.
people. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that they felt like Zachary Levi was playing a totally different character than what the young actor was playing. But look, after seeing it again today, if you really kind of look into the nuance that Zachary Levi is doing, I feel like he's in there. Like there are moments when he does get very intimate.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, there's that kid. There's the kid right there. But then, yes, you're saying, but then he's got the body to be playful, so he goes there because he can. So
Yeah,
to
I
all
mean, of
those
course,
haters, boo.
Yeah, in kid form, of course, you're gonna have that guard up, right? You got the bullies in the school,
Mhm,
right? You're not gonna be
mhm,
playful, but when you become an adult with amazing superpowers, you can just let
Right.
loose. I mean, your bullet immunity, nothing's gonna happen. You can just have
You
fun,
got
do
bullet
whatever you
immunity.
want. Yeah, it's like to me, it made perfect sense. So I never felt that in the movie. I'm like, no, that's a way different person. No way they can be the same. I never felt that once. I thought
No.
they got as close to casting as they could. Of course, it's never going to be perfect. They are different people, different actors, but
Mhm.
Right.
as close as they could get, I think they did a good job. Benny saying, I read somewhere that the reason they decided to have all the kids transform in the first movie was because they were unsure if they would get a second movie. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
I'm
think
glad
that's a
they went
great
with that
reason.
choice. Yeah.
It's a great
Yeah.
reason.
I'm glad they went with it though, because that was amazing. Great
Mhm.
sequence.
And we
He's
didn't
not
even-
one of the. Yeah, he's not one
Go
of the
ahead,
main
Ben.
Justice League. He's not one of the main Justice League, so I could see that reasoning, Benny, right there. I could see that because they're like, oh, if
Yeah.
it's not Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman, no, it's not going to sell.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about how good Mark Strong was as Dr. Savannah as the bad
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
He
Great
was a
villain.
really good villain. Perfect. He was like the Lex for Shazam. So I like how they didn't wait to bring Shazam's main villain out. Like he was right there in the first one. The family was there in the first one. You got all that Shazam, like you said, in case it was a flop, you got it all. So
And
I
you
was
know what?
pumped.
That's the way to do it. Like give everything to your first movie because you don't know if you're gonna get a sequel. Don't hold stuff back. Just give us a great movie starting off, and then we'll
Yeah.
want a sequel.
They-
Okay? It's like
they-
don't
They even set it up for a sequel with oh, why are there 8 seats? Or no, why are there 7 seats? Who's
Mhm.
that seat for?
Oh
and
yeah,
then Mastermind.
Yeah.
The little worm.
Yeah,
that's
the
just there.
worm.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was
you see
great.
them and be like, okay, there's definitely they kind of have it in here in the sequel just in case if they're like, yeah, it's that good, we're gonna get that second one. I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
bring on the
wondering
worm.
what that thing was. I'm like, is that a caterpillar? I'm like, what is that?
Yep. It's a space. It's a space caterpillar. It's awesome.
That controls your mind.
Yeah. Man, did you freak out when they brought the worm in? I was like, oh, I cannot believe they just tagged the movie with the worm. I was like, that's like a James Gunn moment, like bringing in the worm.
Mhm.
All right, we got Darwin said I need to try that Mountain Dew flavor. Yep, it's really good. Benny saying I was like, might as well go big while we can. Type
Yeah.
of decision. Absolutely. Go
Mhm.
big or go home. All right, we got Hisham saying, hello, everyone. Hello, Last American Girl. By the way, I've got a mission. Hisham, why do you always have a mission for Last American Girl? Okay. All right, Hisham, focus here. We're talking Shazam 2. Focus now, okay? All right, let's get into question 4 here. What did we think of the Shazam 2 trailers? All right, let's have Jesse, go ahead and start this one off.
I'm glad all the kids are back because, like we all mentioned, like that was a fun kind of, well, for me, a surprise moment seeing all the kids grab that staff and become like, those heroes. So I'm glad they brought them back in. I also am super excited because what I liked about the first Shazam is it kind of had themes, obviously superhero themes, but also kind of fantasy elements. Like, I mean, the guy who's giving him the powers is the wizard. This whole like area or this layer that they called it that they're in with these statues looks like you're in a castle. And even the monsters themselves, it made me think of like Dark Crystal or Legend type of characters, just a little scarier, but that's what it made me think of. So I love that fantasy elements. So I'm super excited that I saw dragons in here. I saw black unicorns. So I'm excited about like that theme being brought back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And let's go to Last American Girl. What do you think of the Shazam 2 trailers?
It was pretty cool to see the trailers because I don't go to the movies enough to watch trailers, and if I do show up, I show up late. So this is actually one of the few trailers that have stuck with me from the beginning, like trailers I've actually sought out. because I'm excited to see this, and the comedy was just in it right away. How it starts and like he's telling his problems to the pediatrician or the child psychologist or something like that. And it's like, but he's in his adult form, but he's still the mind of a kid. So just that initial lead up, I know it's going to be a great time.
Oh yeah, and that scene had some Easter eggs in there. If you're a horror fan, you might have seen the Annabelle doll right there in the little
Oh
chair.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
what is
That was a
Yeah, I saw that
great
from the
call
first
out.
trailer.
Oh yeah, watch the trailer again. You'll see Annabelle in there. Yeah. Oh, so cool. All right, Huck, what do you think of the Shazam 2 trailer?
I busted out laughing when I saw that Annabelle in the teaser. I was like, oh, come on now. Here's my love and reservation about the trailer. I love the trailer because it finally I got to see my hero coming back, which at this rate, I didn't know if we were going to get that Shazam 2 before, DC switches gears. But like, I'm worried that it's going to be too much Shazam and not enough family.
Yeah.
Because I know the trailer has to get your butts in the seat. So they're showing the dragons and they're showing the magic, all the things that you pointed out that you love. I love that too. But it's like, I want to make sure that the heart that was at the end of the first Shazam rolls into this movie, because that's what makes this movie different than all the other superheroes. They don't have family. And the one thing that gives me hope is that one scene where he's sitting at the table talking to, well, you're a really old chick, but it's all about family. And he bangs the table and he looks at it
right now.
Guys, that was the cue.
Let me go ahead and play this real quick, Huck.
It's all about family.
There you go.
Exactly. So if that's it, I'm all in. I'm happy as a clam.
Mm-hmm.
You nailed it.
Right.
Perfect clip. Nicely done.
I know, perfect. I'm happy I had that one ready. I didn't know if I was going to use it, but it was ready to go.
Good thing you paid the upgrade.
Yes. And if you all want to see more clips out there, everybody, those super chats help with that. Ben Buster, what did you think of the Shazam 2 trailers?
I'm more excited now than I ever was with the first one in seeing this. I mean, I kind of have my little bit of questioning about it because of what, like Huck said, that it was like not dealing. We get more Shazam and not with the family. But it also is funny because Helen Mirren plays one of 3 sisters in this movie. So she's dealing with family issues there. Shazam's dealing with family issues. Mm-hmm. And when I saw Helen Mirren in the trailer, I'm like, yes. Yeah. I'm like, her second DC film, actually technically third, because it's Red and Red 2 right there.
Nice.
Yeah, I was super impressed with these Shazam 2 trailers. The meme, they look exactly like Shazam 1. A lot of fun. You got the comedy. And I think there was enough family moments in there because they do mention family a couple times. You see all the Shazam family there. So they're definitely in the movie. So I'm hoping they're in quite a bit. But I love the fantasy elements like you all were talking. I mean, Shazam fighting dragons. That's amazing. Like,
and blushes at him.
Awesomeness, yes. So many great quotable lines in the trailer as well. So to me, it looks exactly like Shazam 1, just taking it up another level with adding in more villains here, going up against gods now. So I'm all for this movie. I think the trailers were awesome. Hopefully they save some stuff for the movie, though. Then it just show us all the good stuff in the trailer. But I have faith in it so far. But let's go ahead and go into that next question. Because I know Ben Buster was already mentioning some talent here. So what do we think of the talent involved with Shazam 2? Ben Buster, I know you were mentioning some Helen Mirren there that you're excited for. What about the other talent involved here? And you got the comic book knowledge, so you can let us know who the sisters are, who's playing them, all that good stuff.
Yeah, give me 1 second to bring up that cast list, because I have it on a tab right here. Yeah, we have, obviously... where is it? There we go. Lucy Liu, Calypso, one of the other sisters. She's the goddess of they changed it from what it was in the comic books. In the comic books, Calypso is the goddess of chaos. So I don't really think that's who she is in here. But let's see. Lucy Liu, daughter of Atlas. So yeah, they're going with her as the daughter of Atlas more than she is the goddess of chaos. Hespera, Helen Mirren. She is Hespera is not only just the daughter of Atlas, she's also the golden light of the sunsets. So every sunset, that's because of her in the mythology. And yeah, so the cast in here being DJ Cortona back again, Grace Fulton, Megan Good, and Rachel Ziegler. I can't forget her as Athea, who is the goddess of swamps and flowery wreaths. So she's the goddess of swamps. Could we possibly see a swamp thing in here? Maybe, because that would be a good monster. That could be a good monster for her to call upon to fight Shazam.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Because it's Fury of the Gods, and we know that in the comic books, Swamp Thing is the god of the green. He's the curator of all the living things on the planet that are plants and plants that way. So could kind of tie in. But
yeah, I'm excited to see her. Yeah, she's a great actress. I mean, she was the one in West Side Story, right?
Yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly. Oh, she was great in that. So super excited for that. Last American Girl, what do you think of the talent for Shazam?
I'm so excited for Lucy Liu. I love everything she does, and as especially like as like minor characters, especially are some of the roles of hers that I remember the most. Like her in Chicago, and then obviously her leads like Charlie's Angels. But I'm so excited to see her, and I know she's gonna do a great job. And just as we were going over the cast list, it all just sounds great. Like they spared nothing with this.
Oh yeah. And then Jesse, what do you think of the talent involved here?
I'm happy all the kids are coming back. I mean, Zachary Levi, he is the Shazam character. I can't even imagine them making like another movie in the future if they wanted to, you know, like how they do Batman, like, always changing him out. Like I can't imagine anyone else playing him. So I'm happy he's there. And I like that all the kids are there, because sometimes it's a little disappointing or you're unsure about a movie if you know someone's getting switched out. So I'm really happy for like the main solid cast.
Oh yeah, and that was surprising too, because you said they got all the kids back, right? And all the adult versions are all the same, right? Or no?
No.
I don't know who the adults.
Who they switched
Mary.
out?
Mary is
They
actually
switched out Mary? Oh.
Yeah. Grace Fulton, who actually plays Mary as the kid version, is actually old enough and looks like an adult, so they made her the adult version of the character.
Oh,
she looked the same in the trailer.
So they
That's
switched
really
out
cool.
the one from Shazam 1. Wow.
Wow, that's
I feel bad for the
actually.
adult one in Shazam 1 then. Why did they do that? Oh, man. That's sad.
Well, that's an interesting thing that we bring up then is the time jump. I mean, these kids, they were kids and they grow quickly. Yeah, one funny thing I noticed is the little girl, who was that adorable kid? The young kid. She was, and there was a couple of scenes where her teeth, you know, she had lost her two front teeth and they were kind of coming in. And then like a few scenes later, they were fully out. Like her teeth are fully grown. I'm like, oh my God, how much time had passed from that one scene to the other scene? But yeah, I'm pumped to see the cast. And you know that it was sort of that little you know, Armageddon shot with all the kids walking side by side, you know, all fanned out, you know, and then, you know, they're much older. So it makes you wonder. I have a feeling maybe they'll open this movie with like sort of a James Bond thing where the opening is a teaser of heroism and they're just in the zone. You know, all the kids are flying around doing their thing because they would be at that point doing that sort of thing. There's no major threat, right? We're just assuming from the end of 1 to 2, there's just been sort of your usual heroicness deeds, right? So I kind of feel like maybe that's what we'll get as an opener, just to remind us, hey, the entire family are superheroes. So yeah, I'm excited to see that. I hope that's what they do.
Any other theories, Huck, for the story at all? Or do you think there's even going to be like post credits in here?
Well, there was 2 on the last one. Yeah, I mean, there was 2 on the last movie, and I'm sure there'll be 2 on this one. Yeah, I don't know. Like, my only theory really is more like, well, what happens after this? You know, Zach is so good. I'm almost hurting at the takeover I don't want to jump too far because I know we got a little
Mhm.
thing coming up on that, but so I'll hold it for that. I'll hold it for that because you know where I'm going with it.
Oh yeah, fair enough. What about you, Last American Girl? What do you think? How's this story gonna go?
So we're under the understanding that there's three sisters, kind of like a Bates situation going on.
I didn't even think that. Good call. Yep.
They're gonna start try to steal his powers, using them for evil. Whole family's gonna come in. It's gonna be family versus family. We're getting Fast and the Furious in here.
Family.
Hey, that's the next movie over there. Shazam Fast Furious crossover right there.
Well, it looks like we're not getting a crossover for this one, so it might be that might be the actual crossover. I don't know. As far as post credits, let's see. I don't know. It's so hard to choose post credits with DC, considering that they never know who they're even casting, and they change the scripts all the time. But my prediction, I'm gonna go with 2.
All right. And see, I didn't even know if we were gonna get post-credit scenes here or if they would actually connect anything. Because is the little caterpillar guy in this movie or no?
No.
Does anybody know? Okay, so we
Not-
had a
not that we know
post-credit
of.
of the little caterpillar. Oh, I'm gonna be so disappointed if he's not in this movie. So do the post-credits even matter?
Well, Mark Strong is. So I would venture to say the worm is going to be in here. I think they're saving that moment because why not? Why not? You got to have some surprises.
I wonder if he's going to be the early on villain, maybe like the first 15-20 minute villain. Sometimes they do those,
and then he's taken out real quick.
Yeah,
like he's not really that good.
All right, Jesse, what do you think's happening with the story here in post credits?
I do agree with Last American Girl. I think it is going to come down to a family versus family thing. So I feel like we will see those family values again. In the trailer, we saw some comedy and also like action and a darker tone. So I think we're going to get that back in this movie too. I really have no idea what to think, what's going to happen next. And kind of Huck mentioned it. I think it ties in with our next question. Just because I feel like things with DC kind of changes quickly. I was thinking maybe we were going to get some connection to Black Adam, but when I was reading the comments right now, it sounds like we might not. Yeah, so I have no idea what to expect.
All right, Ben Buster, you look like you got something to say.
Okay,
right now. Go.
Hold on. Hey, Mike, could you put me on a full screen for a moment?
Oh yes. Let's get.
Hold on. I'm Atlas. I'm holding up the entire DC universe on my shoulders, and that's what his daughters are going to be fighting for. Is the fate of the DCU against Zachary Levi and the new DCU coming soon. But anyways, the story theories of Shazam. What we're getting at is these sisters are trying to do this world-ending weapon, trying to get their hands on this weapon that can catastrophically end the world as we know it. And so it's up to Billy and his family to save the day. And where do I see this going? Post-credit wise, if Black Adam was actually good, I could see him tie it in some way, shape, or form. But I mean, you had that little teaser of Superman in the first one. I going in without knowing what the future of DC held when they were filming this, I could guarantee we're going to get some sort of post-credit scenes that tell you of the future of the character. I'm just wondering if this is going to be one of those Elseworld stories that they're going to tell in the new DCU. Because they said there's going to be these Elseworld ones. Why not keep Zachary Levi on here and this crew on here as this Elseworld version of Billy? And so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely a great idea with that one. I was thinking that myself. Yeah, this story here to me just looks completely bonkers with having so many villains and all these fantasy elements in here. I'm trying to wonder, why are the sisters, the gods, mad at Shazam? I don't know if that was said at all. Is it like just because somebody said maybe it's taking the powers if they want revenge somehow, but I don't know what the revenge would be about. Are they just angry because Shazam has powers? Is that what it is? I have no idea. But I'm happy that they're all in the movie because Helen Mirren's great. The West Side Story actress, fantastic. Lucy Liu, awesome. So the talent is perfect for it. I don't know where they're going with the story. And once again, how you guys mentioned with the DCU and all the shakeups there, does it matter later on at all? Or is it going to be that Elseworld story? And for post-credit predictions, I was almost thinking maybe they won't have post-credits because what are you connecting to? Or maybe it's just kind of a throwaway post-credit where it's another funny scene, just another skit out of Shazam 2. I could imagine
Flash?
one of that. A Flash connection? Yeah.
Flash or Aquaman, maybe?
Yeah, because they do
Well,
want
connected to something that's coming. That would be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely want to promote that Flash movie, so that's probably the best connection. Because
Yeah,
that's
why
the
not
next one
put
after
that in
this,
there?
so, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Well, you know, the women, the sisters are of magic. And I know Jimon Hinsu, you know, his name, or is his face on here? I want to say it is. Yeah, Jimon Hinsu as the wizard Shazam is in this. So maybe the connection is just simply magic. You know, he possesses a lot of magic that he passed on to Shazam, and that's something that they can harness. And once they find out that Shazam is the one who has it, that's what their beef is. You know, oh, you've got what we need, rather than just like they're mad at him. You know what I mean? I think it's a magic thing. Feels like it anyway. There's dragons in it.
All right, so I know we already were getting into this one, so might as well continue with it. How do you feel about Shazam 2 not being connected to Gunn's DC? At least from what we know. You never know. It could always change up a bit, but Ben Buster.
They did say, depending on how this performs, it might be part of the DCU going forward. And if that's the case, I know this would be a great change of pace from what DC was doing. If you say, hey, we have so much faith in Zachary Levi and the vision of this team that this is what we're banking on this new DCU to be. Not necessarily all the comedy and all that, but look, we can have these lighthearted characters and they could fit in this world of these incredible super god beings, but yet still remain a fun movie without going to that dark side like they were doing with the Zack Snyder Justice League.
So, Ben, do you think it's going to be a part of the core DC movies, or is it going to be Elseworld? If you had to lean one way or the other.
Well, we don't know exactly what they're doing with the chapters in DC, but the first chapter is called Gods and Monsters. I wouldn't be surprised if we did see Shazam in some way, shape, or form in that chapter, some way, because you're talking about Creature Commandos, you're talking Superman. They're doing a new Batman. Yeah, if you're going Gods and Monsters, and if I know anything about that DC comic series that I do know, yeah, it gets crazy really fast. So you would need the likes of Shazam in there in order to combat all the monsters that are coming in.
All right, and Huck, what do you think about this whole Gunn DC situation?
Well, let's see. Actually, I was scooping real quick to see when Zachary Levi was born. He was born in 1980. So he's sort of in that, it was a 40. Does that make him about 40? Yeah, I guess it does. So I was trying to see if he was young enough, like, because, you know, a lot of the times it's how young is the actor that you're continuing the character with. And I certainly think he still has the ability to keep playing it a little bit longer. So you know, look, our guess is as good as anybody's, like where this character is going. But I would just love the fact that, I mean, when I watched it again this morning, it was so fun to realize that Superman came to the kid's school to have dinner on a tray with the kid. You know, that was kind of hilarious. And it also means, wow, Shazam is now gone and rubbed elbows with probably the whole Justice League. You know, that's what that scene tells you, and you can't take that away. That is now, you know, canon. He knows Superman. So I don't know. It's like, I can't see recasting shit. You know, it's like if you start recasting everybody, then it's like, well, then you're also going on, okay, well, we're going to recast the core and we hope they're good. Now let's recast the outsides who people are liking and hope they're good. So you're going to run into the thing of, are all your replacements good? So you may just have to focus on that main Justice League team and then let some side characters like Shazam and the Suicide Squad characters exist. I have no problem with that because really, he hasn't interacted much with with Justice League yet. The Suicide Squad really hasn't either. Peacemaker had a brief shot in his show where you see the Justice League in silhouette. That's to me is not a real interaction.
No.
So because there's no real face-to-face time, those characters can still stick around, and I'm cool with that. I don't have any problem, with that whole if you fire everybody, you got to fire everybody. Shut up with that. So yeah, that's what I thought. I hope that Zach Levi stays,
but
that's what I'm hoping.
The thing is, it's Warner Brothers who, before even DC Studios, who fired Henry Cavill. James Gunn and Peter Safran have come out and stated that Henry Cavill might not be Superman, but they have something else for him. That Gal Gadot might not be Wonder Woman, but they have something else for her. Jason Momoa might not be your Aquaman, but they have something else for him. Kind of like you're going at, Huck. This could be that pin, that pole, that tent peg that holds this DCU here, and be like, yeah, we're gonna pay homage to all what's happened before, and Shazam does exist. Here's this kid. Here's Shazam,
and this is the one we're keeping.
Yes, yeah.
All right, Last American Girl. What do you think of all this?
It's a little upsetting that it's not connected, because you're used to, like, on the other side with Marvel, how every little detail comes back around in one way or another. And with these, it's all over the place. We've had, and something that we mention all the time is how they either recast or the films just get scrapped in the end. And it just kind of makes it complicated. And it's not something nice, I guess. But on the other hand, by not being connected, it makes for some really good standalone films, which is what I think is going to end up happening with this one. I think it's just these two sequels, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
All right, Jesse, what do you think of all this?
I first was feeling slightly nervous just because I was like, from what I remember, because I had watched Shazam first a while ago when it came out. Like, I remember, like, oh, like, this guy seems really cool. After rewatching it, I feel like I'm not nervous too much about it not being stated that he's connected or not, just because I feel like this character and everything these movies offer for Shazam, I feel like we are going to see him again at some point. Not really sure how we're going to see him, but I feel like he still is going to be connected. And maybe that's just me looking like positively at it. But it's just, I feel like this hero is different than the other heroes. That has that youthfulness, that charm. So I feel like we are going to see him. So I'm not as nervous as I felt like kind of before this, and even before us talking about it. I'm a little more hopeful.
All right, to me, Shazam only comes back in the near future if this movie makes over $1 billion. Doesn't make over $1 billion, I don't think Shazam has a strong chance of coming back. But I am okay if they go with an Elseworld story and just have the Shazam movies in their own separate universe. I've never been the person that says, oh, we need everything connected. I think you can have a connected universe. You can also have the Elseworld stories as well. I think that works fine. And they're already going to do that with the Joker movies and the Batman
I was just going to say that.
So, why not have a Shazam, set of movies in its own universe? I'm perfectly fine with that. I'll take that. And that's why I'm still excited for this movie. This movie can still be a great movie in its own universe without being connected. Yeah.
But that's also the difference in the comic books between both companies too. Marvel's universe has always been one that's been tied in together. Whereas DC's, each hero in their own books are their own books or their own movies that way. And they only come together when there's a big threat. Whereas Marvel, everyone's pretty much in New York. They are all crossing paths with each other in some way, shape, or form. So they are more connected than the DC universe is. So they're pretty much going with the building of DC as a thing. Yeah, these guys exist, but here's their standalone stuff, and here's their and here's their joint movies together. So
All right, Last American Girl. I know you need to get out of here soon,
Gotta run.
right? Do you want to give your kind of last statement on question 8 here? What gets you most excited and are worried about Shazam 2?
What I'm most excited about is Zachary Levi returning. Always fun. Always a good time with him. 10 out of 10. What am I worried about? The storyline. It always seems rushed, and it feels like what was originally planned isn't happening anymore. As far as comic books go and the actual story of Shazam. But it should be fun. It'll be great. Go watch it. Subscribe to Mike. I gotta run.
All right, have a good one.
Enjoy the movie.
Thank you.
Right.
And
All
then there
right.
were 4.
Yes. The core 4, yes. If you've seen Scream 6, you know what that means. All right.
I have
So,
not.
all right. So, same question. Let's go to Huck on this one. What gets you most excited and worried for Shazam 2?
I mean, most excited is just seeing, probably like you, my favorite. I mean, or top 3 favorite DC movie come back just to get a sequel to what I loved. Because I didn't know we'd get it. There was always rumors, but 4 years out, I'm like, is that movie happening? It's a long time to wait for this sequel. So I'm just most excited to get back into that world, back with that family, back with Zachary Levi and all the kids, and see how they are grown up a little bit more, So see what that little girl looks like 4 years later. So I'm super excited about all that. What has me worried is I think exactly what American Girl says, is the story not holding up to where we left off, because there was so much good glue to hold on to for this, where we're going with this, that I don't want it to just be a wizard spectacle of dragons and buses being thrown at them, and the family's just along for the ride, and poof, oh, I took your magic, and poof, I took your magic, and and Billy's got to be the one to save them all. I hope it's more than that, because that's what it currently looks like. So that's what I'm most worried about.
All right. And over to Jesse. Get you excited. What gets you worried for this one?
I am excited about the fantasy. Like I mentioned before, I love my fantasy. I love my magic. I mentioned some of the older movies like Legend. I love that movie. I
Yeah.
love how the creatures are kind of similar to those type, maybe closer to Lord of the Rings since we have dragons. So I'm excited about that. Also excited to see maybe other little movie references, because I know the first Shazam we got that big reference. In the trailer we got the Fast and Furious reference, so I'm excited to see other movie references in there. But kind of what Huck mentioned and Last American Girl mentioned, there is a part of me that hopes it doesn't just become all about the fantasy that I'm excited for, but not just
Mhm.
all about the fantasy and just about the action, because it looked like there was a lot going on in those trailers and a lot of action going on, and I want them to still keep that same heart and same family values that we had in the first one.
All right. And over to you, Ben Buster. What gets you excited? What gets you worried?
excited, like everyone else here said, it's the whole family, seeing what they're doing, seeing if this movie is lighthearted and everything. And what gets me worried about it is knowing that the change was coming as they were filming, that there was something in the future of DC changing. That it gets me worried that they not necessarily rushed an ending to actually bring it to a conclusion, but I'm worried that it will have a finite conclusion. That's what I'm worried about. Rather than leaving it open, the door for us to guess if there's going to be a third one, and then no, we're done. Boom. That's what I'm worried about the most.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm most excited for their director again. I think it's the
Mhm.
same director returning, right?
It
Sandberg.
is.
So
Yeah.
this director has done some great work. I mean, he gets better every time I see, from going from his horror stuff with Shazam, and now hopefully he does a phenomenal job with Shazam 2. But with the same director, hopefully we get the same tone, everything's balanced, and it looks like that way from the trailers. So I'm not too worried here. The only thing I get worried with big CGI movies are the CGI elements. Hopefully the CGI is on point, especially after seeing 65, which had some of the worst CGI I've ever seen in a modern movie. Hopefully the CGI is better in this movie. I do hope we get something a little bit different. It does look like we're going to get that kind of standard third act giant monster battle, which is kind of a cliche in superhero movies. But I hope it's not just that. Give me something different with it. Like you guys were saying, have the family elements, have some of that in there. If we can add more onto that, then I think that will be great. I don't want it to be the same third act, big giant fight we see all the time. Let's not do that, because that's what hurt Wonder Woman 1 for me. It's like, oh, Wonder Woman, it was so good with the story, the characters, third act, giant CGI battle, as usual. Hopefully we just don't get that. Hopefully it's something different.
Yeah, that's that same thing happened in Wakanda, and it bored me.
Hey, that was the worst part of Wakanda Forever. But the rest of that movie, I actually quite enjoyed. But yeah, that was pretty much. We've seen it before.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Dimension Scott saying, I thought the MCU was Black Adam's. Yeah, and I wish they would have kept that scene in the movie, because that was a deleted scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Did you guys see the deleted scene on the physical media disc where they actually had? It looked like it would have been a post-credit scene where they actually talk about the seat. Where I think it's Darla saying, "Oh yeah, I wonder who that seventh seat is."
Yeah.
Oh, he's really nice.
Yeah.
But he's really nice. They should have left that as a post credit.
When I saw it on YouTube, it said it was a deleted scene. So I was slightly confused, because I was like, I don't remember seeing that in the movie that I just watched on HBO, but I saw it on YouTube.
They should have kept it in. That was such a great scene.
Yeah.
That was so good.
What they should have done was had it on Black Adam, have him go into where that throne room was, and actually sit down at that one seat.
And that one seat.
Yeah. In that one seat, it just looked at it, it goes over,
block at the others. Like,
they could have connected those two movies so well. Oh, it's a shame they didn't. Hisham is saying, is Dwayne The Rock Johnson done with DCU? Benny saying, yes, he is. Yep. At least for now, we never know. But yeah, it looks like it didn't work out so well with Black Adam, unfortunately. Hisham saying, are you guys bored with the superhero movie? No way. That's why we're pre-gaming. We love the comic book movie.
No.
Never bored. Never bored with the superhero movie. That's my favorite genre. All right. Let's see. Benny saying, I agree. I hope this movie does well so we can keep Zachary Levi in the new main DC universe. That's how I feel about all these last few DC movies. If they make over $1 billion, they'll keep the person in. If they don't, it's like, you're out of here. It was kind of sad, but that's how it goes sometimes. All right, let's see. Our next question here. All right, talking about money, we got to talk about the money now. Question 9. How do you think this movie will do at the box office? The budget is $125 million, which I think from my research, it was saying this was way less than Black Adam. I think Black Adam was double the budget, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
So that's good. They're not spending as much money as they did on Black Adam. So, Huck, what do you think? How is it going to do at the box office this weekend? A lot of competition this month.
Yeah, I know. It's the best month. Like, last month and the next month aren't that great. But, man, March is stacked. And, so some people are saying, I don't know if you guys watch John Campea, but he was saying how people think, oh, this thing is going to underperform. Rumor has it, maybe a tiny little 35 million. And I was like, I would hate to, I still feel like Shazam is the underdog superhero movie. He's kind of like the Ant-Man, 1 and 2, not the third one, because that had built up from the giant MCU buildup. But the Shazam character, I still feel, isn't the huge character we know it to be. Like, we love Shazam as one of our favorites, but I don't think people, much like Black Adam, are lining up to go see this. I hope they do. So I feel like it's still a bigger character than Black Adam. So I'm hoping it matches that box office of about 65 million, not 35. It's definitely not going to hit 100. I just don't think I'm not feeling the buzz. I'm not hearing people like John Wick. The buzz for John Wick 4 is through the roof. It's unbelievable. And this film, I don't feel, is having nearly that kind of buzz. So I hope the fans are just being quiet and they're ready to go out and see Zach Levi do it. and give us about 65. That's where my heart is.
Yeah, I'm like looking at my YouTube today and I'm like, oh, there's already like 5 John Wick reviews out. And I'm like, there's one Shazam 2 review.
Right.
I'm like, okay. All right, I guess we're skipping a week here.
Well, we'll do it. We'll all go out and do our review and beef it up.
All right, Jesse, what are you thinking of this box office here?
Well, I was looking at how much the first Shazam made, and it said that the opening weekend was 53.5 million. I think because of all the superhero lovers and anybody who watched Shazam, I feel like they're going to want to see the second one. So I do think it's going to do a little better. So I think I'm closer to 60 million, higher than the first one, but not too crazily high, just because there are other movies out there and there's a lot of like other superheroes that people are more familiar with. But I definitely think it'll draw in the superhero peoples and anybody who watched the first Shazam.
All right. And Ben Buster, what are you thinking of this box office?
I mean, it's the budget for it's only 25 million over the original movie. So, I mean, saying it's 125 million and you look at the budget of the first one, it's only 100 million. The first one, opening weekend did, what was it, 53 million? Their total box office was 366 million. So, I'm right there. I'm like right at that $56 million mark. If they can make at least half this budget back week one, it will look promising for them to at least hit up to at least that 366 mark that the first one made. Because I think if it draws at least that much, that it makes as much as the first one made, it does look promising for another one, in my opinion.
Yeah, to me, Shazam. Yeah, go for it, Huck.
I was just saying, and it is appealing to the family,
Yeah.
right? Like the family audience.
Yeah.
And that's not something that really the Black Adam movie appealed to, but this one is. So I'm hoping that brings, mom and her kids and fills the seat a little bit more.
Yeah, the only thing I can see cutting, Shazam's legs off in the long run here this month is Dungeons and Dragons. Because apparently that's getting some rave reviews out there, and that looks to be a family movie as well. So Shazam may not have too much legs in this month. It may only be like, 2 weeks worth before Dungeons and Dragons comes out. But you're right, in comparison to, there's Scream 6 out, but no kids are going to that. John Wick 4, the kids aren't going to that. So this will be a family movie of the month. But I do think Dungeons and Dragons is going to hurt this one because, hey, you got dragons in that too. So I could see that being a little bit of a conflict there. And I kind of compare this to Ant-Man. Shazam's kind of the Ant-Man of the DC universe, right? He's not that main title character. He's not a Superman, a Batman, a Wonder Woman. He's Shazam, okay? So us comic lovers, we know about Shazam, but does everybody else? Well, maybe a little bit more after Shazam 1. But I don't think this movie is going to do great overall. I would love that 60 million. If it can do a little bit better than the first, that 60 million mark, that'd be fantastic. I would say on the low end, though, I would go. I really don't want it to make under 50 million. My low end would probably be 45-ish, though. But I'm hoping I think it's going to be more 55 million. But 60 million would be great. And worldwide, I think it's going to be about the same as the first, probably around that 300, 350 million mark. But, it just is coming out at the worst time. There's so much competition this month, even just for fantasy. It's why? Why did everybody say, hey, March, let's go on movies here? Literally, I have 3 movies to go to this weekend. It's ridiculous.
They should have dropped it in April. April's a lot cleaner. I think Mario Brothers is the only thing coming out. But man, March, it's deadly.
Yeah, put it during a spring break time, something like that, where families have more time to go out to the movies. Oh, that could have worked way better, in my opinion.
I know.
Well, it was against Dumbo and Captain Marvel the first time the first one came out. It was against Captain Marvel and Dumbo. Yeah, they were out before that, but yet it still held its own there too. So I'm kind of that shows me that's kind of a little bit of a promising sign. Let's say it that way.
Oh yeah. Well, I do hope it's going to do well, but I'm glad they kept that budget, a modest budget
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
They didn't go wild with it. Like Black Adam, way too wild on that budget. It's like your first movie, Black Adam. You don't need to go like, what do you think you're an Avengers movie going 250 million? No, like, come on, we got to work our way up to that. So
Most of that
a
was
little outrageous, yeah.
most of that was probably Dwayne Johnson's paycheck.
There you go. Yep. Yeah. Zachary Levi, I'm sure, gets a little bit less than that.
A little bit less, yeah.
Just a little bit. But yeah, let's go and look at this last question. Well, let's check in the comments real quick. See if we got any new comments here. Oh, we got that spicy 4K action in the house. What up? What up? Yay, spicy 4K. All right.
So spicy. Okay.
So spicy. All right, let's get to our last question here. Number 10. How would you rank your level of excitement for this movie? Now that we've had our pregame on, we talked all things Shazam. Ben Buster, what's your excitement level now?
I mean, coming into this, seeing the trailers, I was at like knowing what's out as well as theaters, I was at a 5. Right now I'm kind of at that 6.5 standpoint where it's like I'm excited for it. I'm going to go see it. I'm going to wonder how it fares, but knowing how unreceptive fans were to Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, I'm wondering if the general populace is done with superhero movies as a genre.
Don't say that, Ben Buster.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm talking the general populace.
Yeah,
People are not into comic books like we are, or not into the superhero genre of movies. They come there because they're like, oh, I know this character from so and so, or something like that.
But so are you letting that affect your number then? You sound like you're letting their disconnect affect your number.
No, it's not the disconnect. It's more so like we were stating, like John Wick's out, Scream's out, the Dungeons and Dragons is coming out shortly. It's more so where they're at on the schedule that it's kind of worrying me, kind of dropped my level of excitement for this movie. Because, and to start off with, I was at a 5, like I said. Now I'm like at 6.5 because I had my hopes high for Ant-Man and Wasp, and then it was down here.
We're all like,
if I go in, with like a 6.5, and and those expectations are higher, that it's much higher. Then I am excited, but I'm not excited for when it's coming out. But I am excited for the movie. Yeah, that's put that.
All right, Jesse, your excitement level.
So it was before today. It was at a 6 because, like I mentioned, I saw the movie a while ago, but I just kind of saw bits and pieces. Today, I actually got to sit down, watch the whole thing of Shazam 1, and I really enjoyed it. So it's boosted up to a 7 now. So I'm excited, but I don't know where the DC universe is going to go after this. So I'm trying not to be too excited.
All right. Huck, your excitement.
Yeah, that's so funny, Jess. It's like we had a watch along today with each other because I had to put it in and just be excited about it. And I was the same, kind of uncertain where it's all going, sort of lowers that excitement level. But having seen it again, I'm super excited with the characters and the actors and where it's going. So yeah, I feel like I'm in that 7.5, maybe even 8. Like I could really pump myself up if I try. Like, because I want it to be great. Even if it's the last one, then I want to enjoy the hell out of the last one. So I want to go in because this could be it. I don't want to go in underwhelmed. I want to go in ready to be whelmed. So come on, Shazam.
So, yeah, I'm ready for this one. I just watched Shazam last night. Every time I see this movie, it's either just as good or gets better every time. And I've seen this movie probably half a dozen times now. It is so entertaining, such a fun movie to watch. So I was thinking almost about an 8 excitement level for this movie, but thinking about it more, I might go a level 9 on this one. It was on my top 10 most anticipated films of the year. I'm okay if it doesn't get connected with the DC universe and we just get a standalone great sequel. I am totally fine with that. That's all you got to do. Land the plane here. And to me, from the trailers, the talent involved, It looks like we're going in a good direction here. Just don't mess it up, okay? Don't have that MODOK moment in there, Shazam, okay? We don't
Oh
need
my
none of that.
God.
As long as we just stick to the plan, we're good here.
No MODOK. No
Yes.
MODOK.
So I'm super excited for this movie, and I don't understand why other people aren't. I get it with the DC connectedness. I get the other competition around it, but come on. It's Shazam. This movie is so good. It is so underrated. One of the most underrated comic book movies of all time, in my opinion. It's a delight. So
Yeah.
I'm hyped for this one. Very hyped. Let's go. Can't get here soon enough.
Do we feel like Ant-Man is going to harm Shazam? Is there any of that reality?
Box office wise, probably, because usually there's more, I would say, Marvel fans than DC fans, at least kind of at the state of things. So
Yeah.
if those superhero fans were, and there's some crossover there, but being disappointed by Ant-Man 3, are they going to be looking to rush back to the theaters again a month later?
Exactly.
We just had Ant-Man 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Disappointed in that one. Are you ready to rush out now this month? I think it's going to hurt it a little bit at least. But
what also, in my opinion, hurts it too is they're promoting The Flash more than they are this movie.
Yes.
I've seen a lot more talks about The Flash than I have about this.
Yeah. Yeah, this didn't get a Super Bowl trailer or anything like that, right? Flash did, but not Shazam 2, did it? Did Shazam 2 get one?
You know what? All I remember is The Flash.
Yeah, all I remember.
Well, I think he got a pregame one.
A pregame one.
But Flash got that right in the middle.
Really good one.
Yeah.
That's true. That does get me a little more concerned is, DC and Warner Brothers putting their faith in this movie. I know they're changing up plans, but they should back this movie. Like, why not want to make the most amount of money possible off of this movie? And then if it's the closing chapter on it, fine, cool, make all the money, have a good time, and we move on. So that's a little disappointing, but what are you going to do about it? All right, let's see these last comments here. Yeah, support the movie, everybody, of course. Dimension Scott saying, I'm on Huck's side. I was like that when X-Men Dark Phoenix and the New Mutants came out. I like those movies for what they were. That's me. I like New Mutants. I love New Mutants. Actually, a lot of people didn't like it. I had fun with that one. That was a good horror superhero mixture. Dark Phoenix, it was okay.
I was let down by Dark Phoenix. I was like, killing off Mystique like that. Boo. Spoiler alert. Like I did.
All right, let's give everybody a chance to kind of close things out, promote anything they want for their channels, Instagrams, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you got out there. Let's go. Let's start with Huck. What we got going on, Huck?
All right, y'all. Well, go ahead and take the ticker down there if you want. The little number 10 there.
Yeah, let me get it.
That's Solomon. That was great. But yeah, look, so coming up Sunday night, me and my buddy Mike and buddy Tim, who's on another stream right now, we're going to have our special show. It's called the Collectors Club that we're super excited to start. Cannot wait to see how that goes. Every Tuesday I do a live show, so come join me every Tuesday morning. Grab a drink, grab a snack. You know the drill, as I like to say. It's a good time. We just talk about whatever the current stuff is, and I'm sure perhaps if I get a chance to see Shazam, we'll be talking about Shazam Tuesday morning. Just tons of stuff on my channel. Just pop on over, sniff around. It's a good time.
Yep. Collectors Club on Sunday, right? Sunday.
If only there was a promo or a trailer we could roll in.
We're ready with that. We got it. You guys
got
it right here. Let me just find it real quick. Where's that? We got it.
Well, dang, that looks cool.
Absolutely. Everybody go sub to Huck so you can see us at the Collectors Club. It's going to be a blast. Oh, seeing that trailer every time, Huck, I'm like, I want that killer clown gear you have right there with the mug.
It's
and everything.
good.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Get out there to the Spirit Halloweens next year or this year, and they'll be there.
All right, let's head over to Jesse. What do we got going on?
Hi, I'm Jesse once again. Thank you again for having me on. It was fun talking about movies, and I'm excited to watch this movie this weekend. So yeah, you can follow me at Jessie May J on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I post different video game related videos, and I also do art, and I've been going to different places doing like food reviews and stuff. So yay, go check it out.
Yeah.
All right. And then, I think we got another comment in here. Can't leave out. Tiana loves movies. Yay. Hey, just wanted to stop in and say hello. Yes, Tiana. It's always great seeing you.
My friend.
Thank you so much for stopping by. All right. The real Captain Marvel. What do we got going on?
I'm the Bin Buster. You can find me on all social media platforms at the Bin Buster, and also right here on YouTube. I have a new video coming out Friday. It's my monthly series I'm doing called Rewind, where I take a look at movies that haven't gone past the VHS or DVD versions of them and talk about the movie and ultimately decide if should it be forgotten or should it get a higher resolution or a higher grade release. And this week I'm doing the movie Ready to Rumble from 2000, starring David Arquette and Scott Conn. Scott Conn. And I have a friend who's a wrestling podcaster. He's coming on to actually talk with us about me. It was a great time. Look for that video Friday. And as always, I do Walmart Wednesday videos where after the release days of Tuesday, after you've seen all those videos, come see what I pick up on Walmart on Wednesdays. So there you go.
Oh, yes, absolutely, everybody. Stop by Ben Buster's channel because this guy knows his wrestling. I was watching one of those streams, Ben Buster, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm getting some great wrestling knowledge right now. It was a lot of fun. I'm like, I'm learning a lot here.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Thanks.
Great idea with that one. Everybody, audience, definitely make sure you go ahead, subscribe, follow everybody on this panel. All amazing content creators and just a ton of awesome personalities. So definitely do that. Thank you, audience, once again, for being in the chat tonight, leaving all those comments, making it very interactive, fun pre-game show. And then some things I have coming up for my channel. Tomorrow, I will be dropping a challenge video. Let me go ahead and bring up, let's see if I got a little overlay on this one, just so you guys can see the thumbnail. Let's see. Yes, the March Movie Madness Challenge. Make sure you all stop on by the channel tomorrow morning. Look at the rules in the video. I'll explain them there. But yeah, hopefully we can get some participation on that. If you're a content creator, hopefully you can do a video taking on that challenge. Or if you're an audience member, you can definitely participate in the comments. So that's the video for tomorrow. Look forward to that. And then this weekend, of course, I'll have my Amazon deal videos. I'll be getting my 90s ranking together for Tim's stream. So that's going to be a fun video as well. There you go. Yep. And then the next live stream will be, Collectors Club Sunday. Yeah. And then after that on my channel, Monday night will be the Scream 6 post-game show. So if you want to talk all things Scream 6, spoilers, all that fun stuff, definitely tune in Monday. But then, of course, we will have a post-game show for Shazam 2. We'll find out what day that's going to be, but definitely look forward to that as well. But that is it for tonight, everybody. Have a good one. Go watch Shazam if you haven't recently to be prepared for Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods this weekend. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
And Shazam.
Shazam.